Okay, so Anna is going to teach us today about on-the-go parties, I think she's got some other stuff too. So all the on-the-go stuff, like I'm super excited to see what she has up her sleeve because there's some things that she's created just for you guys. So it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to Anna. Anna, I am going to hit mute all really quick just so everybody is good and muted to start. Wait, hang on, let me make sure that I unmute all. No one can unmute themselves except for Anna now.
Thank you.
I'm muting myself.
Okay, so I didn't really tell my story last week, but or in the weeks prior, but it joined in 2013. I really didn't do anything for the first 2 years. I wasn't interested in building a business. Asking anybody to do anything ever scared the crap out of me. I was working 60 plus hours a week as a registered nurse in the operating room, so I really didn't have a lot of time. I was even on the will cancel list at one point, and my method of really being able to do parties once I was all in with Scentsy, which is a whole nother story, we can do that another time, was bag parties because of that. So because I was in the operating room, we have to work call, right? So I would work my normal nursing shift, which could be anywhere from, oh God, here's Deacon, not right now. What do you want? Ugh, okay, 1 second. I'm sorry, you guys.
Real mom life.
Duty calls. Somebody needs a bathing suit. Unlock the front door. So I would work my I'm working, baby. I was working my normal nurse shift, and then we'd have to take call, which meant sometimes I wasn't really needing to do a whole lot, but I couldn't be wrapped up in a party per se, and then have to run out and fix somebody's hip. So it made it really, really hard to do things like home parties or even anything that I had to be present in, even like an online party where I needed to be present, because back then we weren't scheduling posts and that was not even a thing. So for me, the solution was bag parties. And you'll hear it as mobile parties or basket parties or on the go parties, but for the sake of it, we'll just call it mobile parties tonight. So maybe some of you guys have done mobile parties before and you already have a setup, and that's fine. But I'm going to show you what's in mine and what helps me be successful with it, and some things that you just kind of want to look out for. One of the reasons I love mobile parties is when you hand this off to the host, they're doing the work. They can message you, they can text you, and you guys can meet up for more order forms or whatever it is that you need, or they can ask questions, but you don't have to be physically present all the time. And that was my big challenge. So I liked being able to hand it all off. Now, because they're doing all of the things at the end of the party, it was easy to say, listen, you obviously have people who are buying and you already know what to do. You filled out all the order forms. Like, we should just get you enrolled so you can continue to do these things, which is really how I joined as a consultant, because I brought the testers with me to work at the hospital, and nurses love Scentsy. I mean, if any of you guys are healthcare providers, you know, if you walk into any healthcare facility and try and hawk Scentsy, you're going to be selling stuff. So I loved it. And I had like an $800 party, and I'm a numbers person. I know I say this all the time, but I saw in the back of the catalog that if I spent $99, I was going to get a $200 check. I'm like, that would be dumb of me not to do that. So I joined based on the fact that it was really bad math not to do it. So I knew the power of bag parties was pretty good, right? Because I knew that if I knew that I could do it based on the fact that I just took a bag party, I knew I could get other people to realize the opportunity within that too. So at the height of my bag parties, I had 4 bag parties, 4 sets of testers, 4 bags like what I'm going to show you. And each one I would book out for 1 week, and I would have them book solid. So 4 bags, 4 weeks out of the month, that's 16 parties. Okay, 16 parties a month is what I was getting with these bag parties. And they would be anywhere from not qualifying and I would be putting them together and splitting rewards, or they would be huge parties and I would be flipping these parties. Okay. So this is a really great tool for recruiting too, because you're showing them that they can do what you do. And that's exactly what Jen Audette was saying last week. What you want is for them to say, well, I can do that, right? And this is a great way for them to feel like I can do that. So one of the things I will recommend is a clear bag. I have always used a clear bag. I love a clear bag because if you take this somewhere and you drop it off on the counter in a break room, people are not going to dig through somebody's purse. All right. If they don't know what it is, they aren't going to go through it and they're not going to sell anything. So I like clear bags for that reason. So I'm going to disassemble this and we'll go through it in the order that I want. So bag of testers, right? Obviously this baby's getting used. All right. That's a sign that I'm actually sending this thing out and I don't feel bad about it. All right. So testers in a clear bag, because it makes it one, easier for them to find what they're looking for, but also more likely that they're going to go through and look at all the things, right? Okay. I like clear bags and I cannot lie. Another clear bag. Oh my God. So these are just cheap bags that I got off of Amazon. Also cheap bags off of Amazon. I'm going to give you guys all the links for these things. If you want them, you don't have to buy them. If you're not balling on a budget, like Rachel says, and you need to use whatever bags you have, use whatever bags you have. Okay. But these are all cheapies that I bought on Amazon, and I got creative with my silhouette one day, but you don't have to do all of that. So in here, I put an extra catalog and I put all my order forms. Okay. That way everything is in one place. They shove their money in here as well. I only give bag parties 2 catalogs. That is it, because I am a cheapskate and I don't want them to all walk off, and catalogs are expensive. All right. So the catalogs stay with the bag party. I only give them 2. If somebody wants them, they can contact me and they can have a conversation with me and I can mail them some, or I can meet up with them. But I want to have one-to-one with somebody who's desperately wanting a catalog. Otherwise, they can sit here and they can smell the things and see the things while they're in front of it. They don't need to take a catalog. Okay. So one of my catalogs is in the front little pocket on this, and the other catalog is in with my order forms, like a backup catalog, I guess. I used to put like 5 catalogs in here, and my bag parties would come back with no catalogs. If you're sending out a bag party every week 4 times, that's a lot of catalogs and that's a lot of money, and that's just not necessary. So we don't do that. Okay. I always put the warmer of the month brochure. I rarely take the old warmer of the month brochure out. They get ratty. It doesn't matter, because as long as it's still available, I don't care. I want it in there. So I throw those in there if I have them. You guys can print those off the workstation. You don't have to buy them either. Okay. Now this is a fun little thing, and I'm going to give you the file for this. So my friend Jody Farmer, she's another SSD, created this file, and it is on Canva. So you're going to be able to change all the information on here and put your own picture on it. It's very easy to do. And then you're going to print 2 to a page, but it looks like this. It says, hey girl, hey, let's party. And then it's all the details on how to party. Okay. That's it. You're making this so easy for your host, because if you're not available and they have this kind of tool, they're not going to text you as often, and they're going to find the answers. And again, they're also going to be more successful if they decide that they're going to be a Scentsy consultant later. Yeah, Tammy, you've seen this one too. Okay, so yeah, Jody made this. I'm going to send it with you. You guys can print it all out if that's something that you want to do. It's about partying. It's about hosting. Different ways to pay me. So there's a Venmo one, a Cash App one. They can just pay me directly, how to fill out an order form, bundle and saves, and then the scent grid is last. This gets shoved in the front pocket as well, so that it's easy to find. Okay. Also on the outside of the bag is this tag. I made this. You guys are going to get this as well. It just says Scentsy Mobile Party, and then it has some details on the back. Back says, for an extra half price item, keep the bag party going. Pass the bag to a friend, text me their number. I'll pick up completed order forms and refill the bag with anything else that the bag needs. Okay, so this is how we're going to get rebookings, right? It's how the host is going to help you get a rebooking, because this is the host getting the perpetual party reward when the other person takes the bag party. Okay. Down here, we got our name on the bag. Always put your name on the bag, because you want these back. There's been a few times in the past where I haven't got my bags back, and that's a sad situation, but you don't want that to happen. Okay. And then down here, important, do not leave this bag in the car. Testers will melt. Ask me how I know this. hosts shamefully bringing their bag parties back because the testers have all been super melted. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to let them know before the bad things happen. Okay. And then last but not least, well, not even last, we'll get to last, but one of the most important things about a bag party that you cannot do in a home party is being able to really experience products, right? When I do a home party, I like people to be able to try things. Like I'll bring a partial counter clean, I'll bring a partial body cream or whatever. So when I have partials, or if I switch up a scent, I literally throw, and these are kind of looking sad because they've been used, but I throw these try me stickers on the bottles so that way people can actually try the products that we have. Obviously we don't have this anymore, but you get the idea. You can do it with a lot of different things. You could do it, like I said, with counter clean or whatever. I always put a couple of hand creams in there, different fragrances, because I want them to try those. Always put the stickers on them. I even have a body spray in there. And look, guys, there's not much in there. So it's not like you're taking full products out of your inventory and it's costing you a lot of money. It's just something that you already have partially open and just use that. Do you do the mobile bag party for locals only? We'll get to that in a second. Okay, then the other thing I like to do, and back in the day, because this didn't exist yet, I used to do a warmer and a bar of wax in the scent of the month. But now I don't even do wax and warmers, because wax and warmers, they run the risk of breaking the warmer, or the wax is messy in wherever the facility that they're in. If they're working in an office setting and this isn't quite right, I'll send like one of those little mini fan diffusers. But I think it's important to send them this because these are rad and people don't get the exposure to these without a bag party or without somebody like being in front of them saying, dude, you need these. These are amazing. So I love to send them just a single pod. It's typically whatever I'm using at home. I'll take one out for myself and then throw the other one in the bag party. So a wall fan diffuser and a pack of pods, or a mini fan diffuser and a pod. Obviously not doing that anymore either, but I like to just kind of throw whatever I can so that they can experience our products firsthand, so that they'll be more likely to buy the things, right? Okay, last but not least, this is what I was going to say. So I learned this from my friend Nick. You guys know Nick Gervais. She's in Canada, in Quebec. No, Ontario. She's in Ontario. Anyways, Nick messaged Rachel and I one day and was like, oh my God, I have this idea. And she started making mystery bags. And she was using them originally with her events, and basically telling people, hey, if you spend $50, I'll give you this mystery bag. And it was helping her kind of upsell people into things. So then it morphed into doing it into the bag parties. Well, in the bag parties, it was, well, if you spend $75, you get a mystery. And then it was, no, let's use this as a booking tool. So I have used these same poly mailers forever and ever and ever for the same thing. They're cute. You just want something that's going to catch their interest. But this seems like it's going to be money. I sounded just like a Nick. But really, you guys, I just throw whatever I happen to have on hand when I'm making these. So if somebody's going to do a party, it says, mystery bag, be the next person to take this bag as the host and get this prize bag. Okay. And then they can open it and they can see what's inside, because it's not just kids who want to see what's in the Kinder Surprise egg. Adults do too. So I've always taken a piece of cardstock, fold it in half, shove it in the bottom so it kind of holds it open while I'm throwing stuff in there. And it's always the same sorts of things, as far as like, there's always a retired wax bar and circle. Okay. Whatever happens to be in my stock. It's not always the best thing, but I just grabbed one of each of those because they're sitting in my stock or they're old, right? Or sometimes I take them from my own stash because that's what I have. Candy, adults like candy too, right? My better samples, like bigger size samples, this one is Fabric Fresh. A cotton cleanup, because people always need it. It's basically the same stuff that I'm putting in my thank you packs that I mail out sometimes, or I put in people's bags when they pick up orders from me, plus weird crap, right? Some stickers, because we always have these left over at the end of the season. So I throw some of those in there. Coffee, because who doesn't need coffee? Or face masks, or like go to the Dollar Tree, go on Oriental Trading, get creative, steal from your kids' party bags, the stuff that they, get at birthday parties that they don't actually need. Come on, I'm right. Like, there's always garbage in there that they don't need. Anyways, they book a party, they get to take the prize bag. It's just an incentive to help you continue to book parties, because the hardest part about this, it's not necessarily recruiting, it's rebooking, because you aren't there to be able to tell people that they need to host a party, right? So you can have conversations with people based on what they order off of their order forms. Temu is apparently the new online Dollar Tree. Great for supplies, low cost, shipping takes a while. Yes. Okay. So that's kind of like AliExpress. If you guys ever checked out AliExpress, I used to use that a lot too. But I mean, this seems like a lot of stuff, but it really isn't. It's all just crap that's been pulled out of my office or partials. And then because I'm good at making things like this, I'm going to give you the files. You're going to be able to do this. Your task this week is to, now, if you already have one of these, you're not off the hook, okay? But if you don't already have a bag party or a mobile party put together, your task this week is to put one together, and you're going to show me what you got, okay? I want to see that you've got it, because this is so handy, all right? Once you have one of these and you carry it around with you, like legit, I was supposed to have this in my hands yesterday, but the last person who had it was at the bank and she forgot it. So I had to go and get it today. It's just been a crazy runaround. But if you carry this around with you and people ask you what it is, or you run into people that you won't be carrying it for very long. And if you're taking it in every store with you because you can't leave it in the car, you're very motivated to find someone else to take this bag, okay? So I love these. They were my absolute bread and butter when I worked in the operating room. It was the only way that I could really make shit happen, right? So that's how I was selling a lot. That's how I was getting Scentsy in a lot of people's hands. That's how I was getting a lot of contacts. And that's how I was recruiting. And I went from recruiting no one and a team of one to recruiting 41 the year that I really took it on. So it's amazing. Now, what if you already have a bag party and you've already done mobile parties and it's gorgeous and you don't need any of this stuff that I just told you? I want you to revisit your mobile office. Okay. What I mean by that, in your car, you should have a few things, right? Bulbs is one of them. I can't tell you how many times I've been wearing a Scentsy shirt out somewhere and somebody's like, oh my God, Scentsy, like I don't have a Scentsy person and I need bulbs. Like, do you have any bulbs? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally have one. Let me go out to the car and get it for you. I'm sure that you would love to say catalogs in your car, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't keep catalogs in your car. I intentionally do not keep catalogs. I know I keep going back to catalogs are expensive, but they are expensive. And I don't like to give things away without getting something in return. So I don't give out catalogs. I will tell people, oh my God, I'm such a bad consultant. I can't believe I don't have any catalogs by design. And I'll say, oh my gosh, just can you text me your address? And I will mail you a catalog and a whole bunch of samples to make up for the fact I don't have one right now. Okay, so now I have their phone number. I have their mailing address. I can follow up with them on that catalog and the samples that I sent. Yeah, I know, sneaky, huh? It works. It really does work. Plus, I'm very awkward in asking for people for their contact information. But if I'm going to give them something, then I don't feel as awkward asking for their contact information. Like, text me your address, I'll give you some free stuff. And they're always like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds legit. Not, hey, how about you give me your number and I can pester you for the rest of forever. That's what my brain was doing when I was kind of a newer consultant, because it makes me feel awkward and like somebody's going to shut me down. So I want you to revamp your mobile office, but I want you to be cognizant of what you put in there. Don't put too much stuff in there. And if you're going to put things like catalogs, figure out how you're going to get people's contact information moving forward, because I don't want you guys giving things out without getting the information back. That's one of the biggest things. Like, we love to give out samples, but you're legitimately giving away your money. If you don't get contact information, you can't follow up. The statistic, again, here's numbers, Anna. The statistic is 1 in 100. So if you give out 100 samples, one person will come back to you. That sucks. I'm sorry, but if I cut up samples and I make bar of wax samples, because I do, like when I make my samples, they're a third of a cube of wax. That means I'm getting again, God, here we go with numbers. That means I'm getting 24 samples out of a bar of wax. That means that I've got to do 4 full bars before I get somebody to follow up about a sample. No, thanks. That doesn't work for me. And that doesn't even consider the amount of money that my time and the little bags and the little labels and all of those things are combined. So stop giving things away if you're not getting contact information, because contact information is all the thing. Yeah, I know, Rain Man Anna. So if you don't have a mobile party, you're making a mobile party. If you don't have a mobile office, if you do have a mobile party, you need to do a mobile office. Okay. And then I want you guys to carry it around and book them, because they shouldn't be in your house. Like, I literally will carry it around because I don't want to carry it, and it will make me, otherwise, if I stick it in my office near the door or anywhere else, I'll just look at it every time I leave. I won't actually try and get it out of the house. If it's in my car, I know I can't leave it there. Does that make sense? So you're going to get the file for this. Should you want to use it, you'll get the file for this. I don't know. I might be able to give you the file for my sticker. Yeah, I could probably go back in and find it and just remove my information so you can stick them on there. I don't know. You'd have to be okay with mermaid cats. I mean, the background on this one is mermaid cats. I don't know. It made me laugh. I liked it. So that's on there. What else, you guys? What am I forgetting? I think that's really it as far as mobile parties go, but that's your task. And the code word is muskrat. Because I thought that was like, I was laying in bed last night and I was like, pinochle. No, that's too hard to spell. Like, I overthink the weirdest things when I should be sleeping. So I'll scroll back up here. Okay, what else do you have in your mobile office on the summer weather? Scent circles as thank yous, because I like to say thank you for whatever it is. It's like, let's say somebody helped me out with my groceries and the grocery cart person was amazing and I wanted to give them a scent circle with my information on it. I'm not giving it to them because I need to follow up with them. I'm giving it to them as a gift. Does that make sense? Like, if I fly on a business trip and I bring scent circles for the flight attendants, they are a thank you. Of course, I'm going to put my information on it, but I'm not doing it in a way of like, you need to be buying from me. Does that make sense? So when I do scent circles like that, the intention isn't for me to follow back up with them. It's just for me to tell them thank you. So I keep those in there. Oh, I remember what it was. I messed around and left a bar chilling, grilling and chilling in my car one hot summer. Barf, just go ahead and douse the car in kerosene, set it on fire and push it over a cliff. That's how I feel about that scent. Somebody asked about out-of-town parties, and that's a really, really good question. So what I was doing with out-of-town parties is and this was back in the day of like the legit mini testers. You guys don't remember these, but they were like, well, maybe some of you do, but they were like little teeny tiny like this. And I would mail some of those out, and I would mail them like 10 or 15 of them, and with like in a zippered pouch like this, kind of like, they were a little bit bigger than this, but they were like this, and they were scentsy ones. They were purple, green, blue. Do you remember those? The color blocked ones? I would put some testers in there. I put some catalogs in there. I put some order forms in there. I would put one of these, because we've been making these for a long time, in there. And then I would mail them in a flat rate envelope to someone. And then I would make it my mission to have them never send them back. Like, I want them to join and just keep going. If you keep going and you want to just join, like, just keep it. I don't want it back, and you'll get your kit and you can do amazing things, but just keep this and keep the mobile parties going on your end. And I mean, Amber Horn, I think, can attest to that, because that was a thing for her. And I have a few people that joined us based on like a party like this, and it was just hard. Maybe I was sending one to Amber, and then I'm like, no, you're in Arizona, you should just join, because they're going to melt, and I don't want to send this with an ice pack. But you could send that with an ice pack, one of those with an ice pack and a flat rate bubble mailer. It all fit, but you had to ship it quick. So the flat rate really was quick enough, but you had to worry about things melting, and that's not so fun. So my MO when I was doing that was try and not have to have them send this back, because one, I feel bad asking them to spend $8 to send it back, and I don't really want to pay for shipping twice. So it just really made me work that much harder to try and get them to join. But I also didn't feel really bad if they didn't come back, because they were just like, every time we had a catalog switch, I had all these extra, like, how many, if you've been here a while, how many mini testers of Very Merry Cranberry and Christmas Cottage and Cider Mill do you have? Like a billion. So it was always stuff like that. And it just kind of helped alleviate some of the expense, right? Because every time you bought a transition kit, those were already in there. So that's how I was doing it. Emergency wax kits with the old ones. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Muskrats are so cute. Oh my God, I'm scrolling way back up. I have QR code in my car and they can scan for a catalog, but the code takes them to a form that asks for all their info. All questions are required. At the end, after they submit the form, there's a link taking them to a flip catalog and a link taking them to their website. Erin, I love it. That's genius. So good. Yes. Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Like I get it. Like I was so nervous. I was like, I'm not asking anybody for anything after. This is not happening. And here we are. Now I'm asking people and getting no every day. It doesn't bother me. I don't remember getting anything like a bag, but I do remember smelling welcome home. So either I ordered it or you sent it to me. I mean, it's been a long time. I think you just said, hey, you should join me. And I said, okay, why not? Yeah, I worked with Amber in the operating room and she moved away. So it was like, well, this is just easier, just, yeah. I don't know. I'm very much like, when it comes to all the things, it's like, let's keep this as simple as possible. This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal. Because I think a lot of times I'm telling myself it's not a big deal. Having a joint conversation as we speak. Yeah. Like more of my angle now is it'd be crazy of you not to do this. Like would be bad math, or you're buying a lot of Scentsy, like, or this is really fun. Like you should totally be doing this. Just take it down a notch as I talk a million miles an hour. Okay. Anybody else? Rachel, Teresa, do you want to add anything about mobile parties?
I do. I wanted to bring up, I think one thing. I'm like trying to think. I thought of something in the middle, but I think it might be gone. I think my brain's overused today, but it's at its capacity. I don't think I could do anymore. But one of the things I do when I have those conversations and oh, sorry, Teresa, I'll unmute you right now. I forgot I made it to where nobody could unmute, to where it didn't get annoying. But one of the things I do when I'm having those conversations and I'm trying to get their information is I will literally say, like how Anna says that I don't keep catalogs, like I might keep a couple in my car for like that perfect scenario when I need it, but I don't just give them out. Like Anna said, I'm the same exact way. And one of the things I like to do is be like, okay, well, let me text you a link right now. Super simple, not overcomplicated. I'm getting their phone number because I'm immediately making contact with them. So I try, as soon as I start a conversation with somebody, whether it's about joining products, whatever, I try to immediately say, well, let me send that to you. Let me text that to you. It doesn't feel gross. I'm not saying like, let me add you to a text list or to my email marketing program, but just a quick, like, oh, you want to, if they say like, oh, I need to see the new scents, let me send you a link right now. I don't have a catalog. That easy. Like, yep. You guys know I am one sentence. And that is my go-to sentence. Another thing that I wanted to bring up that I would love to see everybody here participate in, that my team's doing next week, is on Tuesday, we're doing a get out there day. And what it is I'm challenging my entire team to get out there. So to get out in the community, go into Starbucks, go into the bank, whatever, where they're doing things that they would already be doing. So say that you're already going to Target, or say that you're already going to the bank or whatever, and getting their information out there. So giving out a sample, or if it's a good opportunity, like today I did at the car wash because the lady was super helpful, a scent circle or whatever it need be, getting your information in the hands of other people, to where you can expand out of your warm customer base. So I would love to challenge all of you guys to participate in our Get Out There Day next Tuesday, the 23rd, and just make it a friendly competition. Whoever gets the most information about Scentsy out to the most people wins. Super simple. If you're going to Target, walk around Target a little bit longer. Make sure that you're going up to every mom that you see with a baby struggling and gift her, if you see somebody struggling with their baby in the Target grocery section, give that lady a dang scent circle. Do you know what I mean? Like, looking at Scentsy like that you can use it to brighten somebody's day. No, you can do it another day. Tuesdays when my team's doing it, but I know one girl's going to do a Wednesday because she works Tuesday, but just use it as an opportunity to really pixie dust, to really, get yourself out there, handing out samples, whatever. So I would love to challenge you guys to that too.
If you guys are doing samples, little tiny samples like this that are felt samples, Rachel will attest to this. This is the shiz. Okay. These
even
are
like cutting like into tiny pieces, like literally sometimes my sample wax bags will look like crumbs. Like
they're like, what did I get? Are these
crushed up wax with a label on it? And wax melts the same no matter what. Like, who cares?
Yep. And if they say this is too small, I can't smell it, you tell them, warm it in your hands and smell it. And I even have like I'll even give you that. I have like a little flyer that I made for that too. That's like, you can give them that says that, like, warm it up.
Yep.
So this is so cool. One of the things that I wanted to add is that what Anna shared with us tonight, it takes away the excuse of I'm busy. So whenever you're asking someone to join your team and they're like, oh my God, I would totally join, but I'm so busy. These are like employees. So it doesn't matter how busy you are. You could be doing all the things. Like tonight, I was at the dentist office literally all night, but these employees can be generating revenue for you. Also for you, because sometimes I can see when I'm running reports that some of our team members, they kind of come to a halt and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh my gosh, the doctor put me on bed rest. And in my mind, I'm like,
so
if you're able to, you can work from the bed, right? Or I'm going on vacation, so I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. You can go on vacation, but these bag parties and basket parties can be working on your behalf while you're not even lifting a finger. Some people say, well, my car is in the shop or whatever, all the excuses. There's really nothing viable when you have these bag parties because literally, they're just missing arms and legs, but they do all the work for you. The smiling does the selling. The other thing too, is if you're on a budget, you can order like a full pack of the scent testers. You do not have to send the full scent testers out. You don't. Matter of fact, when I was going to South Africa, where I saw Anna and Rachel, remember Rachel, we were stuck in the elevator.
Yep, I remember.
Was so crazy.
That's how me and Teresa met. We were stuck in an elevator in Africa.
You couldn't get off. We just couldn't get off. So anyway, there we were riding up and down the elevator. So while I was in South Africa, I sent maybe 10 scent testers, a couple catalogs and order forms to Hawaii to my friend's mom, who I just met. She ended up, while I was in South Africa, having an $800 PRV bag party. And I told her, I was like, you're a consultant, and she is still, that was 2017. We're in 2023. She is still thriving, putting in big numbers. So I just want to let you know that these bag parties are so powerful. And they really do, they just take away any excuse that's left on the table. So I'm excited to revamp mine.
And it proves that busy people can do it. So if you have somebody like you, people I would work with, just take this, just take it for a week, see what you can collect. You know what? If you don't even collect a full party, I'll still hook you up with some free stuff. Sometimes it was just the cent of the month bar, because that's what I had. But it's proving that you can do it even when you're busy. And what Teresa was saying, by splitting up the testers, we were calling those pouch parties. So call it whatever you want to call it, but there's a lot of ways that you can do with what you have. You don't, I mean, just because I mean, obviously we don't even have this anymore, still in my bag party, but you know what? It gives them something else to try. And when it comes back as an LTO, you bet that they're already going to know what it is. So.
Ooh, one more thing is, as far as getting the parties out, sometimes it's not even, hey, take this bag with you. Whenever I have like someone in my neighborhood or anyone says, hey, I want to order some scents from you, but I really need to smell them first. Yep. Or if they want to place an order, I'll say, hey, let me drop off this little basket to you. And so I drop off my bag party to them. They're smelling, they give me their list of bars that they want. And I'm like, let's get that for you for free. So just take that basket with you to work, you know, take it to the baseball game or whatever. I did that. And this lady joined my team. That bag party also got me 1,000. I asked her several times to join, and she didn't at the time, but she ended up joining after the party closed. And she started building a team. And so one of the team members is a star director on my team now. All she wanted was a 6-pack of bars, you guys. But I didn't just give her the 6-pack of bars. I dropped off a bag party. So the moral of the story is always have a bag party, an employee ready to go.
If you can, because the other thing is, like, remember how I was saying that if you tell the host to give this to someone else. So I had this one gal who took it to the bank, and she had another person who wanted to take the bag party. So they took the bag party, and that person got transferred to a new bank that the very next week. And so she was like, can I just keep it? And I said, yeah, that's fine. So she took it with her. And in the meantime, she was also babysitting some kids. And so she took it to that parent's house and showed it to them there. And she showed it all over the place. She was doing amazing things. So she decided she was going to join. Well, she's still with us, but because she took the bag party and she saw how easy it was, she decided to start a business. And she actually, one of my first gen directors is underneath of her. So it's just one person. It only takes one person to change your business. So had she not joined, or had she not known that she could take the bag, maybe she would have joined me later. Maybe she should have joined somebody else. Maybe she wouldn't have joined at all, but you put that out there for them.
And I love too with bags, which we talked about this last week with parties, is sometimes I won't even really ask. Sometimes when I know that they're picking up a big order at my house, you know, say that somebody's coming over and they're like, I'm going to pick up my warmer and wax. I literally will say, hey, I have your stuff on the porch and I left a bag party for you to take to work with you this week. Super simple. I'm not even really asking. I'm just saying, take this to work with you. It's easy. Pass it around. Everybody will smell it, collect orders, the end of it. Super simple.
Heather, you were asking best tips on getting locals to grab them if you're not out and about. So this is my trick, because well, when I wasn't able to do a lot of deliveries and things, on the top, one of the top shelves over here, there's a basket. I call it my scratch and dent bin. And when people pick up, I let them dig through my scratch and dent bin and they can pick something out, when it might be like a bar that I took 2 cubes out of, or it might be a bar that got kind of melty, or it might be just something that sat in my stock for a long time, or it might be just really good samples or whatever they want to take. But ugly bars need love too. Yeah. Scratch and dent.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Donna, if I'm doing it that way and I'm not really asking them, I'm just saying, hey, take it with you, I'll just give them the basket to collect orders.
Yeah.
Or bag, or whatever you want to call it. Something else that I did want to share. I'll wait and share it next week. Just kidding.
I know, different topics, right?
The sky's the limit. Like with these bag parties, you can make it however you want. You can make it big, you can make it, minimal. The thing is, you just want to make it. My last little rave is I have an oncologist, a doctor who's on my team from a bag party. She worked in the or I think she passed on to the surgical unit. And she was like, I want to do this. She's been doing this now for 3 years. Granted, she's a hobbyist, but she just, I guess it gives her something to do outside of the stress of, being an oncologist. But she's actually doing an event soon as well. So I just want to let you all know that there's just so much power in this. Every week we like to have a call to action. And so Rachel mentioned, no, it might've been Anna, one of y'all mentioned that we are going to make a post in our group. Anna mentioned this. And what we want everyone to do over the next, before we meet again, is we want you to either spruce up your current bag. And I think Jen Audette was saying it's good to have like a bag. So just have a bag and put stuff in there. And then we want to see it. Why do we want to see it? We want to celebrate you all. We want to see different ideas, because Anna brought up a few ideas. I brought up some. I think Rachel did. We want to see what your imagination is, but we also want to see that bag, and we want to celebrate it moving out of your house. So that way you can continue to increase your PRV. Not next month. We can do all this next month, but we really want to continue to get active in the month of May, because that's going to help with new team members. It's going to also, you can put something in there about Scentsy Club. Okay, especially with Bring Back My Bars. You can have a Bring Back My Bar basket bag party. The sky is the limit. So that is your call to action, is everyone have that. And if it's already spruced up, then spruce up or create a mobile bag. We want to just get back to basics with you all. We're doing it too. And we just want to really see us grow. This is our business model is parties, but we're taking it in another way with these bags, baskets, and pouches.
Yep. I love it. These are the ways. This is the baskets and bag parties and pouch parties. I know this is the way that the three of us, one of the ways that we've really built our businesses. And I feel like through COVID, I guess because of touch and germs and all of that, I feel like a lot of people really got away from it. And it's something that we've got to get back, we've really got to get back into. And pod parties, some people do those too. It's one of those things that I still use wax in the summer for my parties, but that's a preference of what you'd like to do. So anything else?
If I didn't answer your question, can you guys drop it again? Because I know that I get talking and I'm a total squirrel. So if I missed it, drop it. What?
Passionate is the word.
Passionate. I like that. Dropping off to a customer at a workplace tomorrow. I'm going to go put a bag party together tonight. Okay. Well, I will share the links for the bags that I use and the files so that you can print them. I laminate mine. It's just a cheap laminator, and I'll make sure you have what you need. If I forget anything that you want that I might have mentioned, let me know in the comments of the post that I make. Okay.
One more thing that I did want to add too is the how she had mentioned Donna had mentioned bringing it with her to drop off an order. That's another thing, like that Teresa was just at the dentist with her kids. Her kids were getting their teeth cleaned or whatever done. When you're going to the dentist, when you're going to the doctor, when you're doing the things like that, when you check in, tell them, be like, hey, I have this with me. I didn't know if you guys needed to, smell your Scentsy wax or refill your summer stash, whatever. Drop it off at the front desk while you're getting your teeth cleaned. If they, and you never know how it could end up. You could be picking it up with orders, or if they're loving the scent, be like, hey, I'm going to leave that for a week and I'll come back and pick it up.
If you get your hair highlighted or colored, you got to take it to the hairstylist for sure.
Hair salons.
People are sitting around smelling.
Nail salons, anywhere that you go. And that's the thing, is we have to get back in the custom of everywhere we go planning on talking and sharing Scentsy.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
All right, you guys.
Same
make
place,
power moves.
Time, same link next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And share this with your teams. If you have any team members, make sure that this information, because it's gold, don't let it just sit here with you and with us. Let's spread this. These bag parties are money makers, and they open the door to so many other successful moves in our business. So make sure that you take this information and share it with your teams. And
the links to the recordings are all public. So you can share the links to the recordings. The people that are not coming to SFR that did not get the special invite don't get all of the perks that you guys get. But anybody is welcome to watch the training playbacks, you know, especially your teams. So feel free to share it. All right, guys. Same time, same place, same whatever next week. Have the best week, and we'll see you later.
Good night, everyone.